Ever since its creation, draining has been one of the most hated strategies, while being extremely easy to learn, and even players like Xtas, who is considered one of the best over Minecraft players, struggle really hard to win against drainers.
Schon wieder weggenommen!
And for that reason today, I'm going to teach you how to beat drainers and avoid running out of waters. Step 1. Inventory layout. It's practically impossible to completely avoid ever getting drained, so you need to be prepared in case that ever happens. To do this, you're gonna wanna go in the lobby of your favorite practice server and edit your kit. You're gonna sort your hotbar as usual, but instead of letting the waters stay where they are, put them right in the slots where your mouse cursor is when you open your inventory. This makes you able to take the waters out of your inventory way faster than usual. And optionally, you can also put your lava and pickaxe close to that, so you have an easier time accessing them when you need to. Step 2. How to get out of the web. So this is the part where you can actually prevent that draining from happening. And you might say, oh, but there's only one way you can get off the web, you just place your water. But there's actually a lot more ways you can get off the web, and a lot of different ways you can place the water than you might think. First of all, the probably best and most important way. Placing the water on the opposite side of the web from where the opponent stands. This way, the opponent cannot reach the water, and you can safely get out of the web. You can also hit the opponent by doing this, so they are basically knocked away, and instead of them being able to crit you the entire time, you give them a hit back and knock them away so they cannot hit you back. Next up, we have placing water on top of the web. However, you are required to hit the opponent by doing that, because if you don't, you will end up getting drained. So this is essentially the same as the first one, but worse. You have the same aspect of trading damage if you land the hit. However, if you miss the hit, you are basically fucked, and the opponent can drain you easily. And also there's really no point of doing this instead of the first method. Next up, we have placing the water on their feet. This is combined with hitting as well. So this is really unexpected, and they won't be able to crit you because they are in water and they can't jump there, so this will result in you taking less damage. They also won't be able to take your water with lava or blocks, because your lava will turn into obsidian immediately, and they cannot place blocks on their feet as there's an entity there. Now the biggest downside of this is that they're still technically able to drain you. However, this requires really fast flicking and really good reaction time, so most of the time you will still be able to do this. Another really good way of getting out of the web is mining the web, because there's no risk of you getting drained if you don't even place water. However, this can only be done when your feet are on the ground, because when your feet are in the air, your mining speed is way slower, leading you to probably be crit out a lot while you do that. And when you're in fire, you're probably just better off using water to get out of the web, as you will be getting rid of the fire and also the web at the same time. However, if your opponent is a really dedicated drainer, you can mine the web and then place water after, because they will stop draining you when the web is gone. Step 3. Infinite water sources. So this is a really underrated strategy, and I've barely seen anyone but me do it, but it's actually really effective and really underrated. So here's 3 ways to implement infinite water sources into your playstyle. So the first way is to place an infinite water source at the start of every game. To do this, you're gonna grab 2 water buckets from the inventory and place them on 2 diagonal blocks next to each other, so it creates an infinite water source. You don't need any blocks next to it, you just need 2 diagonal waters. So the second way to use infinite water sources are mid-fight infinite water sources. So if you're realizing that you're running low on water, you can switch 2 of your utils out with another water bucket and all the empty buckets you have in your inventory, and you can just build an infinite water source just as in the first step. But you should only do this when you're like a little bit further away from your opponent, so you don't get crit out, and it's way safer. So the last way is water parking. This is an extremely funny playstyle which is based on the other mechanics I just told you about. It's done by swapping out 2 of your utils with water buckets. Ideally you would swap out lava and webs, because they won't be as useful doing this strat. And just start placing as many infinite water sources as possible. This can be paired extremely good with bow spamming to drain the opponent's heal. An important information to be good at this is that you only able to jump high enough to instantly place a block below you or crit when you're like on the last 2 or 3 blocks of any water source. And how you want to use this playstyle is to always try to get the opponent between you and the water source. That way they're kinda stuck in the water and you can crit them out while they are really slow since they're in the water, and you can drain them way more heal than they can drain yours. And also an extra tip doing this is you pick one phase, ideally mid game, where you just take all your secondaries, which you usually don't use in doing this playstyle, so lava and webs, and just spam them, like going really aggressive with them and drain as much heal of your opponent as possible. And after you used all your lava and webs, you just switch back to water buckets and keep water spamming. Okay, so this is everything you need to know to play against drainers. I hope you learned something, and thanks for watching till the end of the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want me to make more tutorials like this.